I am going to show you 3 things you need to know about EQ and frequency, and we're starting right now. Now, if you want to be a really good FL Studio user, then make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon right next to it. Now let's begin. So the first thing you should know about frequency and equalizer is that you should always EQ out the lows out of anything that isn't bass or kick. So any instrument that isn't bass or kick, you make sure it doesn't have any bass element in it, because by default almost every instrument, like this string right here, it has a little bit of bass in it. That's what I mean by lows. That's part of the frequency that has bass elements. Make sure only the bass has it. Make sure any other instrument you EQ the lows out. And how you do that is you click on the instrument right here, and then when the instrument settings opens, you click on this arrow to open up this section, and then you click on route to free mixer track. It's going to take the instrument to the mixer track, and this is right here. So when you press the keys, you can see it right here. So now make sure you selected the instrument right here, and then from these slots you click on any one of them. You look for parametric EQ2. This is an equalizer, and there are many others too, but this is the most recommended. So when it opens and you press the keys, it's going to show you some red lines indicating where the sound are coming from. All these are the frequencies. These 3 right here, these from this sub all the way to low mid are the lows, and then you have the mid, and then you have the highs from high mid all the way to treble. These are the highs. So from this sub all the way to mid, only the bass instrument is supposed to be using these frequencies. So any other instrument that you notice are touching these frequencies, you make sure you EQ them out, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can see this string right here. It has some lines touching the bass and the low mid. You don't really need to worry about the low mid much. You can see a little bit of lines touching the sub, which is really bad. So you need to take all these away. So how you do that is you right click on this number 2, select type, and go to high pass. It's going to look like this, and then you take this one down like this. You can see you have nothing on the sub anymore. So now you want to take away the bass also, at least to reduce it. So how you do that is take this to the front a bit, like so. So you can see you have nothing on the sub and almost nothing on the bass. You can further reduce it if you want. I think this is enough. So when you press the keys, do you hear that? It sounds cleaner, it sounds better, it sounds thinner. And this is how it should be. You can compare with the way it sounded before by turning off the parametric EQ right here. You click on this switch to turn it off. Do you hear the sound? And this is how it sounds now. Do you notice the difference? So that's how you EQ out the lows out of any instrument that isn't bass. It's very important you do that. It's not only instruments, even drums that are not kick. Make sure you take away the lows out of them. So that's how you do it. So the second thing you should know is you should never harmonize bass. So what I mean by harmonize is when you play different keys on the same instrument. You can do that on string, piano, guitar, etc., but you cannot do that on bass, and that's because of its low frequency. It has a very strong frequency that will not allow it to be audible. So okay, assuming we have string, we have this, and this. If you play them together, you get, it sounds good. On a piano, when you have this, and this together, sounds good. But when you have bass, you have this, and this. You play them together, you have, it sounds bad. You can't make music with this. It sounds really terrible. Okay, so I made a little something to use as an example. It may sound familiar. I copied and pasted the same thing in piano and bass. This is for string. I want you to hear how every key will be audible. Listen. So that's for string. Now let's play the same thing on piano. Now let's play the same exact thing on bass. I mean, you can hear how beautiful and everything sounds on piano and string. But listen to it on bass. So that sounds bad, but if you think otherwise, please let me know in the comment section. So the third one is you should know how to use your EQ to make your instruments or drums or vocals sound different or stronger. Alright, like your kick here for instance, you can make it sound stronger by adding a EQ of course, and then increase the sub and the bass. It'll make it sound stronger, and you can adjust this to the way you want depending on the kind of kick you're using or depending on the kind of beat you're working on. Now you can make your snare sound better, sound more audible by like I said earlier, you have to reduce this, and you can make it sound brighter, sharper by increasing the highs a bit. Do you hear that? It sounds more crisp. Now make sure you don't overdo this, otherwise it'll sound like a hiss. You don't want that. Just like so, okay? Now this rule applies to almost any instrument or any drum that isn't kick or bass. So that's it about the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, make sure you subscribe. Have a good day, stay safe, see you next time.